Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I want to talk about Jaylen Brown, man. Now, I don't think I've done maybe one video on Jaylen Brown when I did that video last year. Last year, the beginning of the season, and it was about Jaylen Brown and his weird training that he was doing in the offseason. He was like underwater lifting weight. I mean, just doing some nonsense, some stupid-ass training that some of these guys... once again, these guys pay these people to reinvent the wheel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. I'm telling you, you guys don't need no fancy workouts. Hire me. I'll put you guys through some actual workouts, man. Have you guys legit. That's why these guys are always getting hurt, because they doing these fluff workouts with these weird trainers that don't know what they're talking about. That got them doing these nonsensical workouts that are not going to help them. I really don't know what these guys are doing. These are supposed to be professional trainers training these guys. But anyway, I digress. But we're going to talk about Jaylen Brown in this video, man, because he made some comments after last night's game. The Celtics lose a game, and here goes Jaylen Brown crying in the post game about physicality. He's crying about the physicality of the Orlando Magic. And I'm telling you guys, this is the second time I've heard this. Remember, the Orlando Magic played, I believe it was the Atlanta Hawks in the play-in, if I remember correctly. And remember, you had Trae Young crying about the physicality of the Orlando Magic. So in this weak era, where the fans are begging for physicality, we're begging for some defense to come back, you have Jaylen Brown crying about physical defense. Talking about, you want to fight? Dude, you ain't a tough guy. You're a fighter. We were talking about this video, man. I'm so tired of these clowns, man. Everyone crying about physicality now. Goodness gracious. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, you know I'm truly, truly humble. Much respect to all you guys out there, the true basketball fans that continue to stand up and hold the standard, man. So tired of this nonsense. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So yes, guys, like I said, man, we're going to talk about Jaylen Brown in this video, man. Like I said, I've only done maybe like 1 or 2 videos on Jaylen Brown because, once again, Jaylen Brown's not really important enough, or there's really no reason for me to mention Jaylen Brown or to talk about Jaylen Brown. Now, once again, I'm not a fan of Jaylen Brown. It's not like, oh, I don't respect Jaylen Brown or none of that stuff, man. This is not a LeBron James scenario, or, a James Harden scenario. I don't respect this guy or anything like that. But I'm not a fan of Jaylen Brown or whatever. Like I said, I'm not a fan of many of these guys. It's hard for me to get behind them. But I'm listening to Jaylen Brown make some comments. He's talking the post game, right, after the game last night. And this guy's crying about the physicality of the Orlando Magic. You guys are supposed to be the defending champions. You guys have stacked team. And you're crying about the Orlando Magic's physicality? Are you kidding me right now? I don't understand this. Are they playing against the 80s Detroit Pistons? The physical? Are you playing against the 90s Knicks? Or the 90s Miami Heat? Or the Indiana Pacers? I'm confused here, man. The physicality? Jaylen Brown? Dude, you went out there and stunk it up last night. The dude had, what do you have, 6 turnovers last night? Him and Jason Tatum combined for 13 turnovers. He's over here crying about the physicality. And what pisses me off even more, which makes me really not like him even more, is the things that he said. This dude's still talking about, yo, if they want to fight, man, if they want to fight, gonna break out, fight. I don't know when or why some of these guys, professional athletes in general, like, y'all ain't tough like that. Like, some of these NBA players think that they're fighters. You guys aren't fighters, and that's okay. I don't understand it. And I'm not saying, and once again, like I always tell you guys, being tough has nothing to do with you being able to physically fight or beat someone up. That's not toughness, man. That means that you know how to fight. No doubt about it. Now, to be a fighter, you have to have toughness, absolutely. But just because, you can't fight doesn't mean you're not a tough person. So let's understand that. What I'm talking, though, is about the guys in the NBA that think that they're tough by saying, oh, we'll fight. You want to fight? Then we can fight. You're the same guy that's complaining about the physicality. It doesn't add up. How can you, on one hand, complain about the game being physical and then say, oh, a fight's going to break out, man. If they want to fight, then we're going to fight or break out. Dude, you're talking about fighting now, but you don't want to play physical defense or playing a physical basketball game? But you're willing to take a punch to the nose? You're willing to take an elbow to the face or a punch to the gut? You're willing to take a drop kick to the stomach? Come on, man. What are we talking about here? These guys, I don't get these guys. guys' mentality. They don't think before they speak. You come to the post-game press conference and you start crying and moaning about physicality. The game was supposed to be physical, you fool. That's what we're talking about out here. You soft clowns are so accustomed to this weak NBA, you think that basketball is supposed to be a non-physical sport. Basketball is supposed to be physical. It's supposed to have physicality in it. You're supposed to be banging into each other. You're supposed to be able to do these kinds of things. Now, yes, we don't want guys getting hurt. We don't want dirty fouls. That's why the Detroit Pistons were exposed, because they were trying to actually hurt people out there. They admitted it. We're trying to hurt Michael Jordan. They were trying to hurt people, so they got rid of that kind of style of play. No doubt about it. But for Jaylen Brown to make it seem as if the Orlando Magic are physical, as if that's a bad thing, or as if they were dirty or something like that, that's insane. Insane. And then on the other hand, then you turn around and say, oh, if they want to fight, we're going to fight it out. Dude, then what are you crying about? You're crying about guys being physical, but you're going to sit there and fight with somebody. That's a joke, man. I'm telling you, man, these dudes are, where's the grown man energy at? These dudes are so soft and feminine now. I don't get these guys. They want to wear their little bags around their chest like Shannon Sharp. You dudes are weird. You guys want to wear these tight-ass clothes all the damn time. These high-water pants and stuff, man. Like, give me a break, man. These guys gonna get their nails done and stuff. I'm telling you right now, they're wearing sleep masks. These are a bunch of weirdos, man. Weirdos. You come to a post-game and cry about physicality because you guys lost the game? No, the Orlando Magic out there hustling, man. And you guys didn't have a great game. Like I said, you didn't play great. Jaylen Brown, where you at, man? You had all these turnovers. And he's talking like, yeah, I had some turnovers. I got to be better. Exactly. So just say that. You have to be better. You had turnovers. Don't start crying about the physicality and then start talking about you got to fight. You got to fight somebody. Oh, we got to fight it out with them. That's basketball, dude. You guys are in a physical series. Remember, every team, or back in the day anyways, most teams had a style, an identity. So some teams were going to be physical. That was their identity. The New York Knicks in the 90s, they were going to be physical. Pat Riley instilled that identity in them. So you, like Michael Jordan said, I played that clip, and Michael Jordan talked about the mentality of the New York Knicks and how they're mentally draining going against a team like that because of their relentlessness and the physical nature of their play. That wears on you. They just kept coming at the Bulls. They were relentless. It's the same thing as the Detroit Pistons. They just kept coming at Michael Jordan. Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer, Mark Aguirre, Isaiah Thomas, James Edwards, John Sally. It didn't matter. Jalen Microwave Johnson. They were just throwing guys at Michael Jordan. They just kept coming at him in waves. That wears on you. It takes a toll on your body and on your mind. So once again, these are the conditions that the great players used to have to play in. They had to play through this. Through it. I saw something the other day from B.J. Armstrong. And he was talking about the first couple of games of this year's playoffs. And he was saying how there was a change, a shift in the game, and how the game looked to be allowing more physicality back into the game during these first couple of games of the postseason. That's what he said that he had noticed, that there seemed to have been a shift where the games seem to have more physicality in them, some of these games. And from some of the games that I watched, I think we can agree. I think that he's right about that. There may have been a slight shift in the mentality and the style of play, the referees allowing a little bit more of a physical style of game. Let's understand something. This is the playoffs. That's the way it's supposed to be. Remember, we always remember as kids or as adults back in these other eras, I tell you guys all the time, you can feel the intensity on the couch. You can feel it coming off of these guys, off the screen, because of the intensity of the game, the physicality, the effort that these guys were giving. You hear the grunts. You hear the sneakers screeching, right? You hear the guys banging into each other. You can feel all this. You see the sweat from these guys, right? So it was a certain feeling that you had. So B.J. Armstrong was saying that he knows a shift. But now you have Jaylen Brown, right? You have a Trae Young. These guys complaining about the physicality. No, the game should be physical. You guys should have to play through this. You guys want it to be a soft era of NBA. You guys want everything easy for you, right? You want to be able to just run in the lane and have your layups and no one can touch you and no one can bump into you. That's not basketball. But Jaylen Brown saying talking about, yeah, it's not basketball, at some point. It's not basketball. I hate when they say that. It's not. No, what you guys have been doing over the last 10 years has not been basketball. You guys haven't been playing basketball. Jaylen Brown, you have no idea what basketball is, apparently. You've never played a real NBA before. You guys don't know what real basketball or real NBA competition looks like. You guys never played against it. So all of a sudden now, I'm saying it's the same thing with Kevin Durant a couple years back in that series against the Boston Celtics, right? When the Brooklyn Nets were playing the Boston Celtics that year. I think that might have been the last year Kevin Durant was in Brooklyn, if I remember correctly. But anyway, in that series against the Boston Celtics, Kevin Durant was averaging like 6 turnovers a game. And if you remember in that series, he couldn't even dribble the ball. They kept ripping him. Marcus Smart, all these guys were pressuring Kevin Durant all up and down the court. They were allowed to play a physical style of game that series, if you guys remember that series. They were allowed to play, and a lot of people were saying that the defense that the Celtics were playing in that series resembled 90s era defense to a degree, right? To a degree. And Kevin Durant struggled against that. Not going against elite defenders, but he struggled against that physical nature of defense, style of defense. That's why I say these guys couldn't play in the 80s and 90s. They can't do it. They're not built for it. They're mentally not tough enough. And physically, they don't want to do it. They just don't have it inside them. And Jaylen Brown's complaining about the physicality of the Orlando Magic. Yo, shout out to the Orlando Magic, man, for being physical there. I'm glad that they're being physical and they're pushing you guys around and you're getting upset. And then I hate when guys talk about, yeah, it is what it is. If it is what it is, you fool, then what are you complaining about? Why are you crying? And please, stop talking about you're going to fight. You guys are not fighting. Jaylen Brown, how many fights Jaylen Brown has been in his career? You dudes are not fighters. These guys are so weird to me, man. It's like a situation like, oh, I'm 6'9", I'm 6'8", I'm 6'7", I'm this big, I'm tough. That's not the case. Are you kidding me? You're saying that you're going to fight right after making comments crying about the physicality. So you think a fight's not physical? What do you think, you're going to throw air punches? I mean, I don't understand. Do you think people are going to be hitting you with pillows? No, you're going to be in a physical altercation, man. You're going to put yourself at risk when you're crying about basketball. What a joke, man. And is this guy like the president of the union or something like that? And this what you're complaining about? You're the problem. So now what, Adam Silver has to listen to you complain and advocate for less physicality again? I'm so disgusted with these guys. That's why I always tell you guys, look at them. When you notice, if someone plays any kind of defense against these guys, they're throwing their heads back, they're flailing around. What a clown. Physicality, crying and moaning. You're the defending champions. Act like a champion, dude. Your team is better than them. You guys are stacked, and you're crying and moaning. You got Jason Tatum, Al Horford. You got the 6th man of the year on your team. Derek White, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. You got a good coach, and you're crying about physicality? I don't respect that. I don't respect Jaylen Brown's comments, man. Dude's a straight joke to me for making those comments. You guys know what to do. Go listen to his comments, and you tell me what you think. You guys know what to do, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.